Hey everyone, and welcome back to another week of the show that we call Shiggles. I am that guy Rickster,
Hi, Darian here, guys.
and this week we have topics lined up. But before we get into that, I didn't know what to say there. How have you been?
um, when it come in, all right. So it's two things. In terms of my life is okay. Uh, I really and truly have no complaints when it comes to that. Like it's been a good year for me so far.
Okay.
However, in the state of the world, and not just the U.S., because America is not just the world. It's just kind of crazy. Like, are we coming to like a extinction event? Like end of the world sort of thing, and it's not to be like morbid. I don't think morbid is the word. But if you've not known, the earth has gone through many mass extinctions before. um and this one, I think, could be because of humans. If you look around, someone made a point yesterday that I saw on social media that when you travel the world, you see so many civilizations that rose and fell.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we're heading to something like that because it's just so crazy. And like the US being like a major game player in the world, doing all of these things with all these other countries, and the countries are deciding then, well, we're going to show you that we're not afraid of you, and then they're going to be fighting back. It's just going to be so stressful.
I've been saying
Things
this.
might get super expensive too.
Oh yeah, that's going to happen
um
definitely.
and it's just like every day you open social media, it's not like you open, you turn your TV on to watch the news. Like you open social media, and it's just like this happened, that happened. All these planes falling out the sky. I have friends who are flight attendants, so it's just like you just don't know what you're gonna wake up to in terms of
Yeah, I've been
So
saying
it's
this
just
for a
crazy.
while.
So it kind of has me on edge.
Whenever you're ready, Lord, it's time. Yep,
It
because
is
too much is going
just,
on.
yeah, too much is going on. Like it is, it's just kind of crazy.
Yeah,
But anyways, what can we do?
true.
The
So my
powers
week,
be.
thank you for asking about that. My
Nobody give a
week
fuck about your week.
was, it was a good week, but I'm in so much pain. I have started, well, not started. Don't give me that face. I have been doing swimming lessons. I think I told you about that. And I'm
You can
taking,
swim.
I cannot, but that's
Damn.
fine. But I've been doing
It
swimming lessons and I've realized that that shit is a full body workout.
it
Like,
is a full body
I am
workout.
in pain. And what I was doing is like, because I go to gym early in the morning, and then whenever I have like my days off, I will go to the swimming lesson. So I'll be going to the gym at like 5 in the morning, and then I have swimming lessons like 10:30. And I realized, bitch, you are already tired from the gym, and then you're coming to swimming. It's so much pain. So what I did last Friday, I just went to the swimming lesson instead, and that was my workout for the day because I was so tired afterwards, and my body, my hips, my arms in pain, like I was in the gym. So yeah.
So I never country grew up.
Yes, I did,
You
but
didn't do you like hide away and go to the river with your friends?
I did go to the river and stuff like that, but I just never got into swimming. And then my parents were like very overly protective and shit, so they didn't want me to really go into water and all that. And they are like really good swimmers, but they just never taught me how to swim. And it's just something I've always wanted to learn, and now, I have that push. So now I'm learning.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah,
But to knowing how to swim like is a good life skill to have.
it
You just
is.
might never know when you'd actually like need it.
No, I'm actually enjoying it, so that's good. I'm actually having fun and enjoying it. I didn't, and because I've always said this to you. Well, I don't know if I've said it to you. If the light doesn't touch it, we're not supposed to go there. Talking about the ocean. So now at least I have some capabilities. I can like swim. I'm like, oh, maybe not that bad, but still, we don't know what's down there, so let's not go there.
Real.
Yeah.
And before we get into this week's topic too,
Mm-hmm.
for all my Jamaican friends or my Jamaican people who listen to this podcast, I implore you, please touch the hem of your friend's garment. I made a post on Instagram the other day, joking like about doxypep and like the way it can hurt your stomach and shit like that.
Oh, I saw
Ha
that.
ha ha. And I realized so many people did not know what the hell I was talking about.
Okay.
I had two polarizing conversations that day. I had friends who were like agreeing with me and saying, that happened to them too because they took it on an empty stomach. And the gist of the matter was that it makes you nauseous and sick and feel like you're gonna die because it's an antibiotic, right?
Yeah.
Supposed to take it with food. So I was kicking with some people, and then some people were confused as to what it was, and it was a lot of people, and I'm just like, my friends back home literally don't know about this,
Probably because it's
and
not
I'm
really
like,
available.
is it not available though? Because I had a couple other Jamaican friends who live in Jamaica are on it. I don't think it's not that it's not available. I just think of in terms of the culture and like how um people talk about things here and
Yeah.
get access to information here, it's completely different. Because you'll be here watching a TV series or something on one of them streaming
Mm-hmm.
services, and you see HIV medications comes up,
All
different
the
choices.
time.
You see prep medication comes up. So it's just like you see these things so much where even if someone is not telling you, you're getting it like right there in your face. Um, and someone was saying to me that that would never happen in Jamaica because they're going to be like, "Oh, you're promoting this, you're promoting that, and da, 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 da,"
Which is true.
and all of that dumb shit. So I'm just like, if you know about the information, like, just ask your friends, pass the information on to your friends. Because Jamaica is not like here where you meet someone and you're about to hook up and you're like, okay, let me see my chart. When last you get tested, like conversations like that are just so open among people. I have to
Yeah.
remind myself it's not the same. So finding out about certain things like that, most people are just in the dark.
Yep.
I
That's
was just
true.
so shocked, child. I was so
But
shocked.
that's a good segue to get into our topics for this week. The first
Mm-hmm.
one being gay promiscuity. Thoughts? Concerns? Intrigued?
Um, promiscuity. I heard that word yesterday. But anyways, um, men have really high sex drive.
We get that.
Men will always be men, whether they're straight or gay. Being gay just makes it even worse because you have a bunch of people just running around with all of this built up testosterone and they just want to fuck. Not everybody is like that. Sometimes
True.
people are just like that for a particular phase. Maybe they're depressed or they're classic hoe phase. Um, I just think in general, gays are promiscuous. So the way straight people look at promiscuity, in comparison to how we look at it, for me, it's just like, okay, all right, whatever, do whatever the hell you want to do. But that segue, all them options are out there to prevent all of them things that are out there too, you know. And let's just do a quick recap. There's PEP. You're not on anything. You get exposed to HIV. You go to the doctor. You get something for 30, 60 days. Prevent HIV. There's PrEP. You take that every day. Prevent HIV. There's DoxyPep. Like a morning after. You take that. And, syphilis, chlamydia, gonorrhea, all of them things. Like, you help prevent that too. So
And a
if you're
lot of
engaging,
people a lot of people use those things as excuses to just go out there and just be fucking everybody. And acting like it's Pokemon, they have to catch it all.
well, I mean, I don't know. It's really hard for me to judge people when it comes to things like that because
I'm not judging anybody.
it's your body. You're free to do whatever you want to do with it. Um,
My whole thing is, as you said, your body, do what you want to do with it, whatever you're into, have fun. it's the outlook of people who aren't in the community just see gay people as they just all they do is have sex and take drugs. Whenever you watch any movies, whenever you watch any series, whenever you see anything in the media, it's always just sex, 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 sex when it comes to gay people. I'm like, we're not all like that. Some of us aren't really that sexuals. I mean, yes, we have sex and whatever, but not everybody's just into going to the clubs and just having sex. Not we all don't do that. It's like it's almost like outside of the gay community, there's one stereotype of how gay people are, and that's all we see in the media.
But let me play devil's advocate because it's not all gay people, but it's a lot off. Minutes is more than
Yeah, of course,
50%
it is
off.
a lot. I
So it's
agree
a
with that.
majority. When you combine all of them things together. Uh and I do get that too because people will make comments that um you know they're promiscuous, so don't sleep with a gay man if he's bisexual because you can catch
Mm-hmm.
this and you can
Because
catch
you're going to
that,
catch this
and
or
then
catch
all of
that.
and it's just like um
Because we've seen in recent years, like I think was it the Fire Island movie, and when I saw the trailer for it, I'm like, not watching this because
well, I
even
mean,
though
technically that's what Fire Island is for, you know.
no, I get that, but when I saw it, I'm like, I'm not watching this because it's just the stereotypical gay person. The entire cast, the whole thing. I was like, the really jacked guy out there just fucking down the place. I'm like, "Oh, this is not for me." You see, there was another one that came out was supposed to be like a rom com, and when you saw the trailer for it, again, I'm like, not watching this because the fuck is that? We're not all like that. Let's stop. So that's what annoys me. I get it. We're all humans. We all fuck. We all do things. We're all into different fetishes and whatever. Do what you want. But there's just this in the outside of the gay communities, like all we do is have sex and take drugs.
But
We're not
the
all
thing
like
is,
that.
the thing for me is that I think like everyone is promiscuous, even the straights too.
Oh yeah,
I
they
think gay
are.
people are
Duh.
just way more open with it.
Mm-hmm.
Um and they like certain things, that the whole public sex thing, hooking up in bars and clubs and all of that. It's just that everybody does it, but I just feel like gay people overdo it, and like they're just very open about
Or
it, and
maybe
it's like
we're
very
seeing it a lot
normal.
because we are literally looking for those things. That's why we probably see it more. Because I
What do
don't
you
watch
mean
straight
looking for
porn.
those things?
No, like porn. That's what I mean. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
but everybody
sir.
watches porn.
I get that, but I'm like, for me personally, I don't watch straight porn, so I don't know what the straights get up to. I
Oh, I do
literally
watch
only
straight
watch gay
porn.
porn, so I
I
only
watch
can
straight
talk about
porn.
what the gays are doing in porn.
I'm sorry, gay porn doesn't hit for me most of the time, but like straight porn, ugh.
I don't need to see the straights. I don't have time for them. I see enough of them
I
in my daily
mean,
life.
I'm attracted to men, and I'm seeing a man, so that's that
That's
what I'd be
nice. The
focusing on.
woman's voice annoys the fuck out of me.
Beg to differ, not all the time, but
That's fine.
That's why we watch amateur thing. But anyways,
Mm.
um, but yeah, it's a
The
huge
same
thing.
way they're like, oh, why are two men kissing in public? I don't need to be sitting down watching the straights have sex. Not my gay dollars. No.
But at the same time too, hookup culture like it's a big thing. I really just don't knock people for these things. I just rather um you be more like straightforward in, if it is that you're coming to me and like you're bringing whatever energy you're bringing to me. Um in that case, I wish you be like, straight up with me that, hey, I'm just looking for a hookup, blah blah blah, as
Yeah.
to like
Just
trying to
let me
send me like
know.
pipe dreams or something like that. That's where I would have like, a problem. But outside of that, like
Yeah.
I I get it. I have friends who always be hooking up, and like they'll be telling me the stories, and I have friends who don't be hooking up at all, and then I don't know. I mean, if you want to catch them all, like the 150 original Pokemon, like go ahead. Th- I don't know. Just protect yourself and do you, I
Because
guess.
I've I've spoken to people, met people, and it's just like they just seem like dick is going out of style, and it's almost like it's their last meal and they have to just do. I'm like, why are you like this? Can't you chill? Like, calm
But
down.
then I think what we don't talk about enough too is that I want to put promiscuity like aside per se. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people are like just sex addicts. So it's
That's
not.
true.
So it's just like, and sex drive comes into play too.
And
Cause some
also,
people
a
have
lot of
some
people might be addicted to sex and they don't really realize that's what's
that
going
they
on with
are,
them.
and some people just have like a really high sex drive, especially men. Testosterone is a driving factor for that. And some people have a lot more than others.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a combination of factors, or some people just like the lifestyle, especially in big cities. Um, the lifestyle is just to the point where you see so much, you have access to so much. It's like you go to the market and you see the bad fruit, the good fruit, the shiny fruit, the pretty, all of that. You can just pick, choose, refuse in any given day. You can have three, four, five, six, seven in a day, you know.
And some of them do.
Which they do. They go to
We've
these pump,
seen the dump videos.
the pump and dumps,
Yeah, we've seen
um
them.
where they open sniffies, and it's, gay people are just so amazing to me. It's
This
like,
one guy, I saw him doing that, and when I checked the last time, his count for it was that for that day was probably like 55. Like, wow,
no,
that's
because
a lot.
I've gone on sniffies before, right? Because the first time I heard about it, I wanted to see, like, what it's like. So I've gone on sniffies before, like I'm checking out the map and seeing shit like that. And you'd have people who would leave their apartment door open,
Mm-hmm.
set up like a time block and say, hey, from 10 a.m. today to 4 p.m. today, I'm accepting all loads. Doors open, ass face down, ass up,
Ass
like come
up.
true. And
Yep.
like they just be having multiple guys just coming through, running through. And people are into things like that.
People are into things like that. It excites them because sometimes you see those videos because of course they're filming these things for their fans and whatever. You see these videos on like Twitter, and sometimes it's not even just one guy in the room with them. It's like multiple guys in the room with them. So
As they said, accepting all loads like a
yep.
laundromat. So I I don't know. Gay people are just a special breed. Um, the other thing that I wanted to bring up, which kind of is similar to that, when I say sexual catfishing. Now on
Oh, we're
social
moving on
media,
already. Okay,
you
go
had
ahead.
more to say?
No, no, I'm fine.
No, if you have more to say, the floor
I
is yours.
really don't. Let's go on. Sexual catfishing. Why did you add that one?
So it's something that I've seen a lot, especially
Mm-hmm.
on Instagram, where people go in these places, public places, their private homes. They get themselves hard so that they can have this print
Oh
in
my god, I
their
hate seeing
their
those
boxers,
videos.
something like that. And sometimes they be dancing, do them looking sexy dances, or just displaying cock all over the freaking place. And it's just like they're trying to sell you something. They're talking about, oh, get ready with me, and then all you see is dick just swinging,
I
just
hate those
hanging,
videos so
just
much.
hanging. And one of the reasons why I call it catfishing is that it could also be baiting too, because sex sells. So this, all they're baiting you to get
They are
into like
baiting you to get you to buy their shit.
whatever they want you to buy, right? And sometimes, let me not be all holy. It's nice to look at, but sometimes I'm just like,
And that's the thing. Like sometimes you see them and you're like, okay, interesting. But then when every time you scroll, it's just the same thing over. And
on their page, yeah, it's just
it's
like
sir,
you
this
gotta
is
get.
old. Let us
Hmm.
revamp. Let's do. Well,
Exactly.
I guess if it works, then why not?
Again, sex sells. But there's this thing that I like to say to my friend too, like, and whenever I see videos like that or pictures like that, and they're like, "Damn, like it's heavy, heavy, heavy," and I'm like, "Are probably pure balls." Like,
Or it could be that it's a strap on.
but before I get to the strap on thing, and I said it could be a lot of balls because like I've gone through, like I've been on this earth long enough,
All right,
and
old
sometimes
man. I've been
you
on
see
this
these,
earth.
sometimes you see these people with these prints and these bulges, and they be looking big and jacked like that, and a lot of times it's because of the underwear they got on, or
Mm-hmm.
like the joggers or whatever they have on, or they just have a lot of balls, and when you actually see it outside of clothes, you're just like, well, it's not as big as I thought it was. And that's one of the reasons why I say catfishing, because sometimes they, people know their angles. They bunch it up in particular angles. They put it in particular angles to make it seem like this huge
Yeah,
thing, and then when you see it, it's just like, all right, well, it's really not that much as I thought. You know,
I get that.
with the strap-on thing, a lot of them be walking around in the streets and shit like that with the strap-ons for these videos because they're really actually not that
Yes.
big.
And it's sad.
And I'm like,
But then people
damn,
get
you,
so excited about them only to realize, oh, it's just a strap on.
until
Okay,
somebody
wow.
point out that um that looks kind of fake. Because why is it
Mm-hmm.
coming from your left side? Why?
Right? Because don't get me wrong. We all know that some dicks curve to either the left or the right, or whatever. We're not
No,
all
but it's like
just
it's coming
straight.
from your
But
tie.
you can tell when, like, sir, that don't look real. Why? Why talk about a hip bone? Like, that don't make no sense.
But again,
Uh,
whatever people do to,
whatever floats your
like
boat.
advertise their goods or their stuff like that. But sometimes you see so much, like there's this trend on, and people know how to push the envelope all the time,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I've been seeing people sending me pages on Instagram that have all of these
Same.
coming guidelines, and I'm not talking bulges. I'm talking like dick out, jerking, sexing,
Yeah,
all
not
of
only that,
that.
like actual penetration going on. I'm like, how is this on Instagram?
And when you watch, when you scroll down, you're like, maybe they got away with one video. When
It's
you
the whole
scroll on the page,
page.
it's the whole.
But not only that, I post, let's say I go on Instagram and I post a picture with half of my ass cheek out. They take it down.
They
It's
take
against their
it
community
down,
guidelines.
right?
But
Community
yet you have
guidelines,
pages on pages, post on post of dick and ass. And that's still up.
and it
Wow.
be up for hours, days, like nothing is
Months.
happening. Nothing is happening to you. That you're just like, so on TikTok too, which TikTok has a similar guidelines. They have this trend called "Estas solteras," right? So for
Mm-hmm.
those who don't speak Spanish, it means "Are you single?" Right? And then there's just a Spanish song playing, and there's a lot of Latin guys, and like you see the caption come up, "Estas solteras," and then you see a picture of the person's face, and then there's this part of the song that comes at Maduro, and it fades. The person's original picture fades,
Yeah.
and you see an actual picture of their dick, and then it goes back to their face. And I'm like,
Okay.
and I love seeing that trend because
Of course you do.
whenever it pops up, no, because Latin guys usually have some pretty penises, so
Yeah.
like it comes up, and then like I'm like, this is on TikTok though, and it's a whole trend, and it's kind of funny because the initial trend was, are you single? You see the person's face of the actual page, and then it
Yeah.
fades, and you see their partner, like their boyfriend or their girlfriend or whosoever. But someone flipped it
And started showing dick.
and started showing dick.
Now everyone's showing dick.
And
It's like like a couple years ago with the red light challenge thing.
oh,
Somebody just did it where it was just a silhouette, and then one person did it where you literally saw their dick like
and then
hanging,
it just
and then
became this
everybody started
huge
doing it.
thing. And like even people that were like not like had like the OnlyFans girlies like grabbed it and like was
Mm-hmm.
running town with it. But then you had like people who were just regular people who were everyone was doing it.
Everyone was doing
Like
it,
it like society turned the red light district at that particular point of the pandemic.
right?
It was so bad that people were trying to find like tools and shit like that to remove
To
the red
remove the
light
red
to see what
light.
it looked.
And I'm like, why are we this obsessed? Just watch the video and just move on. Like, why you need to see it without the lights?
The issue is that I think as a society, something that should be pretty normal, um humans have turned it into something
That's
taboo.
taboo.
And I'm not sure if religion is the one to be blamed for this, but
It's a big factor, though.
a lot of ancient civilizations and society and shit like that did not really sexualize the body like that.
People walk
Um,
around naked and nobody
People were
cared.
walking around naked, just having sex out and about in the streets or like in these big festivals, and it was nothing taboo. Like, oh my god, I saw you at the party last night getting your ass digged out. Like the Greeks were very much like that too. They were just
So were the
very
Romans.
open, and the rope it was just so open, right? And like certain tribes right now, like in Africa, gives you like a kind of insight as to what it was like. You see the women walking around with their breasts out, the men with their dick out, and it's nothing to
It's
them.
nothing to them.
And I wish, our society was like that because I don't think we should. Why do we make sex taboo? We have to
Then
do it.
and then it wouldn't then I think society in a whole wouldn't be so overly sexualized because when it's the norm, it's just like, okay.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, you get so used to it because look at animals. Animals will just drop and do it anywhere. They don't care if
At
you're
any
there.
time.
Any they don't
Yep.
they don't care if you're there at any time. So it's just like, we've made it so taboo. It's just like whenever
But
these
it
things
this
happen, it's
but
like,
you know that that's what sets us apart from the animals. We have sense, so we do things that we're not we know what to do and when to do it.
but that's not the point though.
I know that's not the
We
point, but
have
you
to
know
do
that's
it.
what they say.
It's just like when you see, like someone said, oh, when you see a pregnant woman, you know for sure she had raw sex. Technically, we were supposed to be
Yes.
having raw sex.
Duh.
Condoms weren't supposed to be around and all of these things. So I was like,
Because
well,
then the question is, so how when you say something like that, the question is, so how did you think you got here?
right? It had to be
Did
raw
they
sex.
pray
Like
for it and you disappeared?
it
Come
is
on.
it is just so crazy. But the way people like do it on social media sometimes it's okay, interesting. Let me look a little bit more into this to see what's this given. But
But also
sometimes it's
sometimes
too much.
you're like I was about to say sometimes certain platforms you don't have to bring it to certain just let the platform be what it is about. You have other platforms you can do these things freely. Nobody's trying to stop you.
Like I see this one with women and they're like, "Oh my god, like this hairstyle is so fire and or this fit is so fire." But you can't even focus on what, and I know it's intentional. You can't even focus on what they're selling because they turn around the whole ass
Hmm.
pointed at the camera. So it's the first thing you see. So it's no longer like what.
You know what's funny too? The people who let's say they're trying to sell like a popsicle or something, but they're like basic completely naked. Good morning, and I'm like, are you trying to sell the popsicle? Or are you selling yourself? Which one is it? Or the people who post a picture and the caption has nothing to do with what the picture is all about. Not one thing.
It
It's
happens.
weird.
It absolutely happens. Um I kind of wanted to switch gears and talk about something that I've been seeing for the last couple of days.
What's that?
Um, I don't know if you're kind of like following the whole Spice versus the church thing.
I did see
Back
that, but
home,
I don't know a lot about it, but I have been seeing things. So yes,
I watched a couple of videos off her page yesterday,
yeah,
and it was really disheartening. Um, because basically the church was saying that she's not
fit.
morally the morally righteous person
Yeah.
to talk to the kids or preach to the kids or
So give
encourage them to do
one
da
sec
da da.
before you get there. What exactly is her tour? Is she just going into the schools and talking like a seminar, or is she like
Yes.
performing?
So she gets sponsors. She
Uh-huh.
buys all of them things, backpack, books, pencils, all the
Yeah.
school supplies you can think about for the kids. Kids are getting this for free. She's
Yeah.
not performing.
So what's
She's
the
not being
problem?
spies. So she's in her Grace Hamilton, mood where she's dressing classy, talking to the kids as someone who struggled,
Yeah,
was
and made it
homeless, and
out.
made it out. So to be more motivational, inspiring to the kids.
Okay, so it's like a
Um,
motivational thing.
yeah, but while also giving back to the schools
Yeah.
for free, no benefit to her whatsoever. The church is like, oh, she's not the morally righteous person to do this, and her songs are very explicit, and da 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 da, and
Okay.
she is also sexually promiscuous. This is what I meant
Okay.
when I said the promiscuous word came up. Now, in the video I was watching yesterday, so she had like this panel with Minister of Entertainment, Babsy Grange, and all them people, blah blah blah. And she was like, she felt some type of way, not just primarily because they're shutting it down, but like to call her like promiscuous. She's like, I've only ever had two public relationships in my life. A promiscuous person is a person who goes around and sleep with multiple people. So to say that I'm that sort of person is, this is coming
But
from
not only
you,
that, we
the
even
church.
saw the video with her saying she doesn't really do a lot of shit in the bedroom. She doesn't even suck dick. So how is that
But
sexually
separate and
promiscuous?
aside from that, she made a great point where she said that if it is that you say that my lyrics are the ones that are influencing the kids, right? Why is it that I can't be the same person to come and tell them that, hey, do not feed into the lyrics. The lyrics are just entertainment.
Separate the
We'll
entertainers
separate it from the person,
from the
right?
person.
And I hate this so much about the church because they don't be doing anything. And a lot of the schools were saying that the church isn't helping
That
us.
is it.
So now to try to block someone that is actually helping us, like, what is the point of this? And
And
she
that is what people should have said. Okay, so since you want to block her, why don't you do the
come
same
and give
thing
all
she
of
was
these
planning to do
things.
and give back to the school since you want to stop her from doing it?
And she
But
made a
they're not
very
going to do
interesting.
that.
And she said the same book, the same Bible that you're trying to beat me here with, none of Jesus' followers were morally good people. They were
Not
thieves,
one of them.
prostitutes, and whores, and all of them people.
Yep.
And those are the people, and I'm not a religious person, but those are the people that he used to spread the word. So why can't he use me like in the Bible? Do you actually believe in the book that you're reading? And like
Most
it
of them
was,
don't.
so it's on her. I'm not sure if she posted it on Instagram, but it's on her TikTok page. Like a lot of the interview, and like she was just reading them left, right, and center with the facts and in a classy way. And I'm like, I'm just so sick. I love being Jamaican, but I'm sick
There's also
of
a
the
lot of
country a lot of times.
hypocrisy
It's too much
because
hypocrisy.
who raunchy like Sister Mavis when she's not at church? Or Brother Paul. Every church, every organization, every denomination has had some sort of sex scandal.
Way
So
more than normal people.
way more
That's
than
where you
normal
find the
people.
pedophiles and all
You
of them
have
people.
you have people being backbench because them get pregnant. Deacon sleep with this a person, pastor sleep with that a person. Like so, whenever I wanna come out and talk about, oh, not morally fit, shut the fuck up. Because some of you are doing worse than what she does. So be quiet. You're just hiding under the guise of, oh, I'm a Christian. I go to church every week. But that doesn't make you better than anybody else. And that's not going to bring you into heaven either.
And I say this a lot, and for the people who are religious who listen to this, like this is one of the things that like has kind of like turned away a lot of people from the religion or from the church per se. Um, People who are religious who still practice their faith, but in terms of like going to the church and doing all of that, blah
Yeah,
blah
I
blah.
get what you mean.
But for me, I'm not a religious person, and I just think that religion is okay, your belief is okay, but in terms of things that affects multiple people who might also not be religious, religion need to be separated from things like politics and things
Mm-hmm.
like that that it's not
Which
directly affecting because
which is
it's
why
just
they all
holding society back.
and that's why they always say separate church and state, but people don't know how to do that.
I will forever live in this quote. Your religion tells you what to do, the lifestyle you should be living,
Mm-hmm.
not what I should be living. So follow
True.
your religion, follow the word, follow whatever it is that your religion says you are supposed to do. And stop try imposing that on what others are doing. I get it that you can try to convert them, but if the person says that, hey, I'm not into this, I don't care for this, that should be the end all.
Yep.
Because, for example, I have friends who are Christians. I have a friend who's Seventh Day Adventist, right? And
Me
like
too.
he would want to hang out, and I'm like, oh great, let's go Friday night.
Did I just
And
say
then
that?
he's like, oh no, I'm Seventh Day Adventist. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever, we'll go Sunday night then. Notice I'm not forcing him to go
Yeah.
out on a Friday night. I accepted that he will not go out on a Friday night. He will not eat pork. I'm not imposing that I eat pork or I like to go out on a Friday night on him. I'm
Yeah.
respecting his religion, and I would expect him to do the same when it comes to me, not to
Mm-hmm.
try to force me to live whatever lifestyle he is living. And
Yeah.
that's the problem I have with religion.
See, I grew up in the church, went to church every Saturday, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And as I got older, and I'm always very open about other people and their religion and their beliefs and very respectful. I, if people ask me, are you a Christian? My answer is yes, even though I'm not actively practicing Christianity, not actively going to church every single week, I still say I'm a Christian. But at the same time, if I meet someone who is from a different faith, I believe we can sit down and respectfully talk about whatever beliefs we have and move on from there. There's no like, oh, that's wrong. You shouldn't be doing this. And I've said this to my mother many times, and I've said this to other people many times because of how certain churches and denominations how they put forward, sometimes it pushes people from wanting to be a part of that church, especially like the church. You have the different churches around. Certain churches people just don't want to go just because of the people who are inside of church. And I've said to my mother, sometimes people who are outside of the church are better Christians than the ones who are in the church,
And that is a fact
and
because
it shouldn't be that way.
when I saw the whole situation, I'm like, y'all would rather have these people suffer, these kids suffer, than getting the help that they need because of who it's coming from. And then
Hmm.
also not, and I hate even saying who it's coming from because that would kind of like implicate that I'm looking down on Spice. Never that. Spice is a very accomplished, and one of the things, woman, and one of the things that she said in the thing too, she's just like, separate and aside from my whole entertainment aspect, there's so many other businesses that I have, so many other things that I've accomplished. And it's just like a success story does not necessarily mean that you're going to have the same success, but it's telling you that regardless of whatever situation, where you're from, background, you don't have it right now, you too can be a success story in whatever you want to be. So to look at it and be like, oh no, it's just so
So is
terrible.
she still doing the tour? Is it still going
I
on?
don't know. I don't know because I saw a couple of videos 2 days ago, and she's like, "Oh, this tour is canceled." Well, she was excited for the tour. She was getting ready for the tour. She was posting videos about it, and then a couple of days after it was canceled, and then I saw the videos from yesterday where she was actually having um
The
the
interview.
meeting along with her lawyers and the politicians and all of them things, and it was just kind of disheartening that we had to even be there in the first place.
True.
But I will always say this, and this is the final thing that I will say on this topic. When it really matters for things in Jamaica that really should matter, it's always crickets for the church. It's always
Mm-hmm.
crickets. Kids
I will agree with
disappearing
that.
left, right, and center. Murders are happening back and forth. You know, the country's in a poor state of affairs, and you will never hear anything from the church.
But Spice
But let
wants to
it be
do a
the
tour.
gays, and Spice
And
want to
here
do a
you
tour to
are.
help the kids, and here you are.
Here you are.
And
Now you exist.
if you had stepped in and say we don't want her to do it, we will do it, I'm like, okay, whatever, then you do it. Conversation ended. But you don't want to do it, and you're not doing it either. So what are we gaining here?
Not one
Are
damn
you really
thing.
concerned for the kids at this particular point?
And you see, before we, this is the last thing I'm going to say, not just Jamaica, worldwide. Every time they always like, oh, the kids, the kids. It's not about the kids. Please stop bringing the kids into this because she's trying to help the kids. You're trying to stop her from helping the kids because you think you're morally superior. This is not about the kids. It's about you. Stop talking about the kids. You don't care about the kids.
It's like a
Jesus.
scape. It's a scapegoat. They don't understand that they do this and they don't.
Because even with gay rights and all of that, they're like, oh, the kids, we shouldn't be having the kid. What do you mean? Kids don't even care. Children don't give a fuck. They just want to eat their lollipops and drink their Capri Suns and have fun and play with Play Doh. Kids don't give a fuck. They don't know what, they don't care.
Mm-mm.
But anyway,
Anyways,
with that said, we have come to the end of another riveting episode of Shiggles. I was that guy,
Mhm.
Rickster,
And this was Darian.
and we'll catch you in the next one.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye.